Hello.
Hello.
I was on time this week.
I know I was late.
I need to
It's
start.
Nicola. It's Dominic. It's the happiness. Of
Welcome to Happiness is Easy.
course, it isn't.
Which is no. Um, I've got a story for you this week.
Excellent. Let's go.
Right. So I went to get some ice creams from my local shop the other day. So my husband drove me down there and I was just going to run in, come out with the ice creams. And I got out and I had a quick chat with the guy in the shop and he told me that he was waiting for the results from his masters. So I got in the car, did my seatbelt up, said to my husband, "Oh yeah, he's still waiting for his master's results." Looked at my husband, wasn't my husband, wrong car.
Superb.
Actually
Super.
had the seatbelt on.
Excellent. Excellent. Was it the same color car?
It
Anything
was the
like
same color car. It was a different type of car, but
the type of car? There we go.
it was the same color and the same sort of car. One of those quite high up ones. And yeah, my husband's on the other side of the road laughing as because he saw me do this.
He didn't drive off. He didn't drive off.
No, he just stayed there flashing the lights. And I looked at this guy and he, he said, I wondered how long it was going to take you to realize. And then so I went to my husband's car. My husband went and apologized to the guy. And I was like, sorry about my wife type thing. And I was like, don't say that. So yeah, that's the big event of the week.
Oh dear, that's superb. That's superb.
Very, very silly. But hopefully I won't do that again.
Have you done it before though?
No, no, it's a little bit worrying.
Did you have the ice cream? This is the question.
The ice cream, the ice cream was very nice.
Because if you turned up and apologized to your husband and had no ice cream, then we're all have trouble.
then when I would start, yeah, then I'd be making a doctor's appointment if I could remember. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So anyway, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I've been what's been on my mind? Faith, belief. That's been on my mind. All right. The reason why I say that is there's two reasons. It was on my mind anyways, because if how do you have your gut instincts about something? With my careers advisor hat on, it's like, okay, you want to be creative. Your heart tells you you want to be creative, you want to be a creator type person, but there is no evidence, right, that you have the ability to be that sort of person. There is no history in your family, your immediate family that you know of, all right, hey, great grandpa was a writer. Oh, it makes perfect sense. You look just like him. You know what I mean? None of that. So, you know, or whatever line of thing you want to do. As Frank Zappa famously said, if my kids wanted to rebel, they'd become accountants. So that's been on my mind. It's like, okay, if you have, there is no evidence, but you have this internal feeling that, oh, you want to do something, but there's no evidence. That is a leap of faith. Because if there's no logic, you can't see any logic to it. You can't, at that particular moment in time, you can't pinpoint, oh, because of this or because of that, and it's just the feeling that you have, then it's a leap of faith. And then I was thinking right about that, and that everybody has to have that into a certain degree if they want to change. You know, that happens to everybody at some stage in their life about something. There is no proof of something; it's just how they feel. And then I saw this podcast, and it was an atheist versus a deep Christian believer, and it started off at 1-1, right? And then by the end of it, there was like four. It was 4-1. The atheist against four for Christians, but it was a Christian channel, right? It was a Christian channel. And then reinforcements came in, and then in the end, it was like 2 against 2. So I watched this thing for an hour and a half, and I could see both sides, right? I could see both sides, like, okay, right, yep, okay, yeah, I hear what you're saying about, how the Bible has been used to oppress. I know it's been used to oppress, women, minorities, elevate white men, all that kind of business, right? And then I could see on the other side, it's like, well, it's like, moral codes and da. So I watched this thing for an hour and a half. And at the end of this hour and a half, I was still going like, well, I can see pluses and minuses on both sides. So as long as everybody behaves themselves and then like it's nice to be nice, it's all good. Right? But it didn't change my fundamental thoughts about like, okay, at some stage in there's a line, isn't there? Right? Okay, you're at point X, you want to get to point Y. There you have no evidence of, all that you can think of or you can see. It's just you feel that you should be at point Y, and then you take that leap of faith. And it's actually called a leap of faith. So there's a line between, I don't believe anything and to like I believe, and where do you there's everybody that it comes to, even if you're an atheist, there's a point in time where you go like, right, okay, I believe that I want to do something different. I'm taking that leap. So I've done 5 minutes on that, and I haven't got you any further. And believe me, I spent 2.5 hours on this the other day. I'm at exactly the same point. And so ultimately, be nice to everybody, and sooner or later you're gonna have to go like, right, I feel I should do something, and I've got to take that leap of faith, even if there is no evidence on an individual level, but about your own individual life.
Yeah. There's quite a lot to say about that. Firstly, yeah, I completely agree. And we don't behave rationally all the time. We actually do have to make some irrational decisions because we have to make decisions.
Yeah,
And so we have to give things a go, and they might fail.
yeah,
But we do have to decide which way to jump, because you jump and hope your parachute opens.
yeah, absolutely.
But secondly, in some ways, we might have more information than we think. Because, like, for example, with you and creativity, you're kind of suggesting that because of the careers that people in your family chose, it didn't indicate that they were very creative. But people can be creative doctors, they can be creative engineers, so there might have been creativity going on, even if it wasn't overtly a creative profession that they were in. Because what did you say to me once about coming having a Caribbean background or something? You could either be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, or a disappointment to your family.
Yeah. Take your pick. Yeah. If there's any one of those you like, you have choices.
And I speak to a lot of young people whose families say that same kind of thing. But it doesn't mean, like, I was talking to one of my friends who's a lawyer. She stayed in the law and I left it. She earns a blooming fortune now. But she says that she uses her creativity in law. She thinks her work is creative.
Yeah.
So, so there's that side to it. But with the faith thing, we do do a lot of things that are unprovable, don't we?
Yes.
We don't make all of our decisions in our life on a scientific, rational basis. And actually, science hasn't got all the answers anyway.
I know. I know. I did biochemistry. It's like, I know science takes you so far, and then you go like, okay, to a certain point, and you just go like, right, okay, I think this, I'm going to investigate it more. Because even as a scientist, you go like, okay, we're at level 1 here. We haven't got any more information than that. Let's take a leap of faith in that direction, see if we can find out more stuff. Oh, we got to level 2. We were just guessing.
I hadn't realised till I did my MSc that how much of the time you spend making calls for more research.
Yeah.
And It seemed like that's all I ever had to say was, oh, this needs more research because there's so much that we don't know and we haven't proved and we haven't investigated.
Yeah.
So one of my friends who's a consultant, so his medical training, um, he's a man of faith, I would say, and he just said to me, "Well, yeah, I've got my faith, and when someone proves to me I'm wrong, I'll give it up. But until then,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm quite happy with it." So, yeah, people are okay with taking leaps of faith, aren't they?
Absolutely. And this is why I said earlier about, the current information that somebody has, right? Because the reason why I say that is because like my dad was not into music at all, didn't, not supported my music career in any shape or form, didn't understand where it came from. I couldn't see where it necessarily came from. And then I don't know, I must have been about 25. I was going through my dad's record collection and I go, and there's an album in there I didn't recognize. All right. I said, what's this? Oh, it's an album by your Uncle Artemis. Excuse me? I've got an uncle called Artemis, and he was a musician, and he's got albums, right? You've never mentioned this about him, right?
Yeah,
You've mentioned him about 3 times. You've never mentioned he was a musician. I'm not best pleased with you, Dad. This information would have been really useful.
yeah, but we don't have full information, do we?
Exactly, exactly, exactly. So that's why, I said earlier, I was going when I said all that stuff, I was going like, your information that you have current to hand, you can't, you have no, you can't lay your hands on any information that suggests that, where's this coming from? Oh, right. And now that I'm older and I look back, it's like, oh, okay, music is how I respond. I was listening to a lot of music. Top of the Pops meant something. Da-da-da-da-da. I have an uncle who made albums in West Africa, not the easiest place to make albums, And my mum would play the piano when she was younger, right? But gave it up. So, right, okay, some in my genes, there's music. Let's go.
Yeah, and it seems like it really was in your genes as well, wasn't it? Because without the encouragement, you just did it anyway
Yeah,
and always have done.
yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, yeah. It's like my husband's quite a good guitarist, and he was never encouraged to do that. He's totally self-taught, and he's quite good. He plays all the time, and so that was just within him. I think if you have, I've tried hard with the music, as you know, Dominic, because I've got my exams. There's bits of paper that say I can do music, but it's not really like massively within me. He's on his guitar all the time.
Yeah.
I don't really. He said to me yesterday, "Oh, there's this bit in this song for a xylophone. Can you play it?" And I was like, "What xylophone?" He got me a xylophone a couple of years ago. I'd totally forgotten. I haven't used it. So, yeah. Whereas it's a drive in you, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's one of the ways I communicate. Trying to make sense of the world.
Yeah.
My, my common response to a problem is like write a song about it.
Yeah, that's a really good way to deal with things, isn't it? Really good self-expression.
Yeah, it's got. I mean, how do people cope with the ups and downs of life? You have tension and release. So if you have the tension, how do you release the tension? Yeah, and it and
Ah.
and, and it's not Friday night and prosecco prices of prosecco's gone up. Because Trump's put tariffs on everything.
Well, one way that you can do that is, as you say, write music or some other form of communication. But that is a form of self-compassion. That is dealing with your own emotions, isn't it?
It certainly is. Whoa, is that a book?
It's by um she's the leading sort of world expert on self-compassion, she says. And she's a woman called Dr. Kristen Neff. she's got a PhD and all this stuff.
Mm.
And it's about actually a bit like what you just said about the tension and release, because it's about creating oxytocin in your own body, like, the feel good hormone.
Yeah, yeah,
And you
yeah.
get it from being nice to other people, from being nice to yourself, and like letting tension, getting rid of fight and flight mode where you're just kind of scared and angry and upset.
Yeah.
And so you can get it from being nice to others, but you can be nice to yourself anytime you like.
There you go.
Yeah,
In, internally smile.
yeah, yeah. I think I've said this before, but I think because we call this happiness is easy, we keep emphasizing that we know it's not,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's not about trying to make just be positive, make life about fake smiles. It's
yeah,
not
yeah,
that at all. It's
yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely.
stuff that you do to deal with your emotional range, and
Yeah, and it's like having you've got to. It's all about exploring different strategies because not everything is going to. You have some technique that works on one particular day on a Monday. It's not necessarily going to work on a Wednesday morning.
yeah, yeah, and also like you can know these things and know that it would be a good idea to do something. But
Yeah,
if something's the matter, like if you're really tired,
yeah,
or if you're hungry, or if you're ill,
yeah.
these things don't work as well, do they?
No, no. And the shops know this, which is why they always put, you know, the sweets in a particular position, and and the colors, bright colors on the sweets, even though you're like, yeah, well, actually, fruit would be better for you.
Yeah, yeah. But that's really interesting that you deal with your like emotional response by writing a song. I think that's really good because I'm more likely to do journaling,
Mm,
probably because I'm not drawn to music in quite the same way, even though I like music.
mm,
I might put music on,
mm.
um, but you'd actually respond in a musical way, wouldn't you?
But I would counter that with what is the difference between writing a song and journaling? What is the difference? Because this
Well,
difference is very small. It is very small.
well, the journaling hasn't got the musicality attached to it, so I think that the musical response is probably even better because it's got another level to it.
Okay, I'll give you that. But it's not so far because, you know, if you look at the words that you put on the paper or typed up, however you do your journaling, there will be, I'm sure you'll see there's might be a particular rhythmic patterns in in your choice of words. And the difference between, journaling and a song, it's some processes. Okay, there's a particular rhythm. What is a chorus is basically a summary of the song, right? So if you journaled and then like, okay, at the end of your 3 pages of journaling, going like, right, okay, what is this journaling been about? Oh, it's about happiness, and the trials of ups and downs of that. That summary is your chorus, is the essence of the song boiled down. Then the rest of the journaling is like, okay, what is the essential bits of the journal? Okay, is there a beginning, middle, and end? Like narratively speaking, sound effects, and then that's your basis. That's your stage one of songwriting. Then after that, it's all about honing. So
Yeah.
you're closer than you think. You know what I'm sensing here? What I'm sensing is a collaboration between you and your partner. There's songwriting. I can see it happening.
Oh God. I don't know about that, but I suppose I do sometimes turn things from the journal into poetry, so it's not that far away, is it?
That
Because
far, it's
sometimes,
getting closer and closer.
yeah, yeah. But I'm a big fan of journaling. I think it's if you do it, and especially if you do it with some kind of intention, I think
Mm.
it's as beneficial as like counselling because
It's
it's amazing the resources that you have within yourself.
it's cheaper.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper. Counselling is very expensive.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, journaling with intention is a great thing. I'd recommend everybody does it at least once a week.
Yeah, so there's two types. There's several different types of journaling that I do. One is gratitude journaling, which is quite short. We've talked about that before because it's like to not make it too onerous and to just be quite quick.
Yeah,
To,
yeah.
to
Three,
also
three, just the three, just three things.
three things. Yeah,
Ah, three things.
and then there's the self-compassion journaling where um if you've messed something up or you've done something wrong or something hasn't gone your way and that kind of thing, you can just like not be cross with yourself about it. Just
Mm-hmm.
kind of think, well, firstly, being kind to yourself, then just knowing that we're all commonly human and we're always messing things up all the time.
Yep.
That's just that's not to say it's encouraging carelessness or recklessness, but it's just kind of acknowledging that we get things wrong sometimes,
Yeah.
or or we've taken a leap of faith and we haven't actually made it. If you don't try anything, you don't find out whether you can do it or not.
You've got to try things out.
You might get into the wrong car.
I quite like this car.
I want an upgrade.
Yeah, yeah, upgrade, yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't come to any conclusion in your 2.5 hours on faith then?
2.5. No, well, I came to the conclusion, which is the same conclusion I had before. I went, everyone, sooner or later, everyone takes a leap of faith in some aspect of their life.
Yeah.
And just be nice to each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's it. That's as simple as that, really.
Well, it's like when you have children and you suddenly realize you're going to be a parent and you think, oh, can I can I do this? And you have to think, well, I'm doing it now, so
Yeah.
I'm going to have to try and make this work.
Or, hey, I'm really good at this. And then, oh, no, I'm not.
I was listening to an interview this morning with Daisy May Cooper, who's a comedian. She's just got a new show out. That's why she was on the radio. But she was talking about when she had a child, and she thought that everyone else had it sorted, and she thought she was terrible at it. And she was like, "How come there's all these other people baking cakes and their kids all look tidy and they know how to do stuff, and I just haven't got a clue." And then she asked on one of those mum forums, asked other people, how are you doing this? And they were all going, we've no idea. We don't know what we're doing. And I thought, what a good example of people being too hard on themselves because you feel such a sense of responsibility to your children, don't you?
Yeah.
But you're doing it for the first time. You don't know what you're doing.
And the other thing is like you expect them to do things in the way that you've told them to do them. They say there's a thing called free will. Thing called free will. So that's it's really funny. It's like uh, my son and my daughter got two different communication strategies. Like my son will call me up, he'll just chat about football, just say random messages, da 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 da. You know, birthday cards with Christmas cards with specifically written messages in like about like oh yeah, and he's really proud about he's put these messages on himself. Whilst my daughter, for instance, like I hadn't heard from her for 28 days, right? Like I hadn't heard from her since like last year, right? I just said that like, hey, your communication techniques leave something to be desired, right? Finally got in touch with her. She goes like, yes, what do you want to talk about? No, she said, what are the bullet points of what you wish to discuss with me? I said, then she said, I told you the method of communication I prefer with you, Dad, is email.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like,
So,
oh, phone up and go like, he goes, what do you want? I said like, well, I'm your dad. Yeah, what are the bullet points? I just want to chat. I haven't spoken to you in a while. It's not necessarily about anything in particular. Any bullet points. It's like, oh. I can schedule in for a meeting like at 10 a.m. on Sunday morning. I said, what about, have you got like 5 minutes now? I said, yeah, well, but, I said, oh, okay, 10:30 on a Sunday then. I said, okay, cool, let's do that. He said, yeah, she's on a train somewhere. All right, so you're going to be on a train, so the communication's going to cut in and out. I said, no. So, yeah, love it to bits. Two completely different communication
Very,
techniques.
very different. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because if my father-in-law phones me, um, all he does is list what he's done. And then when he's got to the end of his list, which isn't very long because he's 86 and he lives on his own, um, then he'll say, "That's all. That's everything." And so sometimes I say, "Do you want to hear about your grandchildren or anything that we've done?" "Oh, yes."
Love that.
Yeah. Because just kind of think, what did he phone me to tell me a list for? But there you go. People communicate differently, don't they?
They do, they do. And there's no right or wrong answer. There's no right or wrong answer.
No. Um, there's this woman called Barbara Fredrickson, and she wrote a book called Love 2.0.
Okay. Do you
And
have this book? Do you have this book?
I have it on Kindle, so I haven't got it to show
Ah,
you. Um, but it was all about kind of what I was talking about earlier about how she was saying that love is different from what we thought it was. Love is actually micro communications between people. So, like if you just chat to a woman in the shop in the village or something, then you kind of get some oxytocin of that because you're just being nice and they're being nice to you, and that makes everybody feel more loving, nicer. And so
okay.
all these small interactions, she calls them
Yeah.
love 2.0, actually do really, really good things for your well-being, for your health.
Okay. Yeah.
So those moments of, even if my father-in-law just phones to tell me a list,
Yeah.
that must do something for him, that he feels that someone's listened to him or that it's important what he's done or whatever. So that's working for him and it amuses me. So um but yeah, all those little interactions, they're quite significant in stopping us feeling bad.
Yeah.
Do you chat to people when you walk down the street?
Well, I don't do that in London.
No.
Tried it once, never again.
Are they a
No,
bit more friendly up north?
people are much more friendly up north. People are much more friendly up north. Now, my wife, she chats to people all the time. And like I'm going like, hey, go shopping. So like, okay, you had a list, you spent 2.5 hours in the shop, right? What have you done? Well, I was just chatting to people. Right. If I went to the shop, it could take me 10 minutes. Which is why we never go shopping together. And that's why we've been together for 30 plus years. We know what works. We know what doesn't work.
Want to know? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, she does that, chatting, and people, random people will talk to her. I think because she doesn't do that. I've been with her and somebody started talking to her, and I'm going like, right, this is the point now. You can cut this conversation, right? This is these are the blocking techniques. These are the ones you can say to move on, and she doesn't do that, and they just keep talking and talking and talking. I'm going, I'm John. Looking at the book. But no, but that's how she operates. That's her way that she goes through the world. So good luck to her.
Yeah. And does
So,
it keep her quite calm?
I'll ask her. You come, Mrs. Yes.
Very good. Yeah, it is funny actually because when I walk around my village, I say hello to everyone, that I walk past, and they normally say hello to me.
Mm.
And but you can't do that in London. People would think you're weird, wouldn't they?
Weird. But if you live in a village, do you know everyone then? You know everybody you say hello to. Do you know them all?
No,
Oh, okay.
but because we're walking around, it's
Yeah, yeah,
likely that they live nearby.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So, um, but we do get tourists in the village who come to go to the Roald Dahl Museum, but we talk to them as well because we tell them which houses are which in the stories.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
So yeah, but yeah, chatting to people is good for you.
Yeah.
It helps it spread the love. I was thinking how damaging it is for it must be very damaging in the States at the moment with sort of bad news coming out every day because it must be creating negative emotions all the time.
Absolutely. And I saw this thing about this senator who voted against, what Trump's doing, and he said, like, first thing people have got to do, they've got to phone a friend, phone a friend, check on their friend, and form support groups
Yeah,
because there doesn't seem to be any method to his. Well, he's a chaos agent, isn't he? He likes chaos. Um, no particular reason why, just chaos because that works for him.
yeah,
Divide and rule, that kind of style.
yeah. But I think it potentially is quite damaging because it's a bit like the micro moments of love.
Yeah.
They're good. They're really good for you. Oxytocin, endorphins, everything like that. All the stuff that keeps you healthy and is good for your body and your physiology and everything.
Yeah.
But equally, to constantly be barraged with anger and aggression and stuff,
Yeah.
that's going to do the opposite.
And as we've spoken before, you need, you know, 10 positives to counteract one negative.
Yeah. So I'm glad I don't live in the States right now.
Absolutely.
I was at some lecture once where they were looking at various different sort of pockets of language that people used. And there were areas, this was in the States, and they were doing it by checking Google and emails and stuff and
Yeah.
just word crunching them and seeing. So there were areas where there was a lot of aggressive language and a lot of swearing. I'm not having go at people who swear, that's fine. But what they found was there was kind of a really strong correlation between heart health and use of aggressive language.
Really?
Yeah. So people who were being very angry and hostile and stuff in their language a lot were
Yeah.
much more likely to have heart issues.
Well, that's good to know. Right, that's it. I'm giving up swearing now. Better tell them
Time.
I'm giving up swearing. He's very pleased.
So yeah, that was. I mean, correlation doesn't prove causal link, obviously, but I
I'm,
thought that was quite interesting.
however, I'm taking a leap of faith. Oh, all linked together.
That's all linked together. Everything links together in the end. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, going back to your faith point and the decision making and stuff like that, there was another further rational element of it. The one thing that you didn't know about, like your genetic links and stuff, but also when you've learned in your life, like how to take exams, for example, you start at a point where you can't do something, you learn all the stuff, and then you've done it. So you have gone through the process in your life of realizing that you can improve at something, you can learn something. So you do know that you can do that, don't you? So there is a kind of rational element to it in the sense that you go, oh, yeah, well, I can do that. And I didn't used to be able to do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. The reinforcement.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what big leaps of faith have you made other than your music? The creativity one.
Yeah, but there's so many different ones, isn't there? Like, okay, starting on a novel, writing a poetry collection when you've never done it before. I sort of so many things, actually going like, okay, the process of actually putting music out, because it's one thing going like, oh, I've written this, and then like, it resonates with me. Is it going to resonate with other people? When I go on Beatport and or Spotify or all the other, there are other music platforms available, and I see that, there's charts of my music going up or down, I still go, somebody bought that. Somebody bought that. I made that, and somebody bought it. It doesn't even matter if it's only I get 30 pence for it or a pound or £10. I still get that thrill of, oh my gosh, of all the tunes people could have bought, they bought mine. And it's not like I promote the stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and that's really good. So
Yeah,
it's meaning something to someone else as well.
absolutely. Getting my oxytocin rushes.
Yeah, and they're probably getting an oxytocin rush from your music.
Excellent.
So that's nice.
Yeah,
That's sharing creativity with the world.
yeah, yeah.
So that's quite a positive
Mm.
conclusion.
Yeah, that is definitely a very positive conclusion.
So maybe everybody who's creative and supportive and kind in the world have kind of got to unite against the dark forces.
Basically, if we went back in time, somebody should have put Donald Trump on an arts course or something like that. Just like, hey, all this stuff, because you look at some people and you just go like, right, okay, way back in your life, something happened and you didn't deal with it properly. I look at Nigel Farage. Every time I see Nigel Farage, I go like, okay, which brown girl didn't want to dance with you at the disco? That's what I see. So I look at him. I go like, the stuff that you come out with, the way you dislike brown and black people so much. Just going like,
Yeah, it's weird,
something
isn't it?
happened. Something happened at some stage, because there's that's just the way my brain works. It's just like, okay, Trump, the way you act, mm, the
Yeah,
way you
why is he like
the way
that?
you dislike people and throw your weight around, inside you must be crying.
But there's that group of guys who they're all really, really wealthy, aren't they?
Yeah.
And it seems to me that Trump thinks that if you're really wealthy, then it's a sign that you're really smart. And
Exactly.
if you're not wealthy, then you're not smart, and your opinion doesn't really count for much because you're not very smart.
I was thinking this just the other. Well, I've been thinking this for quite a long time. In America, like if you have money, they automatically think your opinion counts for something. When it's more than likely, then the opposite is true. If you spent, and they say like we don't like experts, but to be an expert, you have to do something for a long period of time. Like my son's got a friend, and he's into ecology, so he knows lots and lots about bats, their conservation. He's knows a lot about it. Spent a long time on it. His pay packet is not vast, but if you need to know about that particular area for any particular
Your
reason,
person.
he is your person. And there's so many areas of research that you know the knowledge is gathered by people who've dedicated their lives to it and do not make a vast sum of money. And those are
Yeah,
the in times of need that you turn to. And more often than not, if you just know all about making money, that's all you know about. You're not qualified in other areas. And most of the time, it's those other areas that keep us going.
yeah, yeah. There's if you think about how many academics there are doing brilliant, brilliant work,
Yeah,
and everybody knows that academia doesn't pay
yeah,
brilliantly. I mean, you can live.
yeah,
It's not like they're impoverished, but
yeah,
they're not making a fortune, are they?
yeah.
So, but they're probably some of the most important contributions to our, communities and populations that
Absolutely.
we have.
Yep.
So yeah, it's sad that view is sort of being given such prevalence at the moment. But
Yeah. And it's the other thing that's hard is that you've got to, that expression, oh well, history will judge, time will tell. Don't have time for that because the amount of damage that's being done, it's gonna take years, decades to recover from. I was watching another podcast. Um, Might be in the newsagents actually, and they said the last time that um, the US did something like what Trump is doing now with the tariffs, etc., was in the 1930s, and that particular stuff they did there led to a worldwide recession.
yeah, the Wall Street crash.
Affected everybody. So yeah, it's tough times. So all we can say is phone a friend, phone support groups,
Resist.
be nice to each other and yourself. Have some self-compassion.
Yep, absolutely.
Get
So
those oxytocin released within you.
yeah, you need those happy hormones going around.
Yeah. And more importantly, always check which car you're climbing into.
That is the most important lesson of the week.
Absolutely. And if you are climbing in any car you climb into, make sure you have the shopping, which includes ice cream. Cool.
Oh, my friend was taking the mickey out of me yesterday because she said, "Oh, should we do this thing that we're planning to do on Friday?" Oh no, that's the Valentine's Day. You're probably going out with that guy whose car you got into. No, I'm not.
Excellent stuff. Anyway, shall we wrap it up there?
Yep. Okay.
Excellent stuff. All
You've
right.
been listening to Happiness is Easy with
Yes.
Dominic and Nicola.
Fantastic. Tune in on a regular basis for top tips about life, strategies, and getting that all important oxytocin release through a variety of strategies and techniques. All right. Over and out. Till next
Okay.
time.
Bye bye.
Bye.